Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I share weekly information, tips, tricks, and how-to on investing, finance, and anything else money related. In the last video, we talked about why I invest and that I invest primarily in shares. So today we're going to talk about how do we actually start investing in shares, because it can be quite daunting if you haven't done it before, but once you know the steps and get started, it's actually quite simple. So step one is to pick where we want to invest. So different countries will have different rules, regulations, and different barriers of entry. So let's take Australia as an example. The ASX requires a 500 minimum for your first purchase. So if I want to buy shares in, say, Commonwealth Bank, my first purchase of Commonwealth Bank shares needs to be a $500 minimum. And then after that, I can buy $100 or $200 or whatever it happens to be that I'm looking at for that point in time. So in contrast to Australia, if you want to invest in US stocks, there's actually no minimum trade value. You just need to buy a share in a company. Step two is to pick yourself an online broker. Now, there's a lot that can go into this depending on the services you want, so I will do a big comparison in another video. But to simplify it today, we're just going to say you need to have a look at the brokerage fee. So how much does it cost to buy and sell shares? And then do they charge an inactivity fee? Now this inactivity fee can catch you out where if you aren't trading regularly, so let's say you just want to buy and hold shares, you get charged a fee generally every quarter just for having the shares there and not actually trading. The easiest way to do it is to just open up an account with the bank you're currently using. However, it is worth just checking those fees and making sure you're not going to get caught out or charged extra high fees when you don't actually need to pay those fees. So for me personally, I use NabTrade at the moment. They charge a $14.95 trading fee, so that's buy or sell, and that's for trades up to $5,000. Trades over that have slightly different fees. Step three, this is the easiest one. Now that you've got your online trading account, you just need to actually transfer some money into it. And this is just like any other bank transfer. You select your money, you put it in the account, done. Now step four, this is probably the hardest or the most in-depth one, and that's selecting the stocks or funds that you actually want to purchase. Now there's a lot of work that actually goes into picking the right stocks or funds for what you want. So I'm going to keep it quite simple in this video and go more in depth in a later video. Now, firstly, you need to decide if you want to invest in individual companies or if you want to get broader exposure more simply through investing in investment funds. Investment funds are a great way to get broad exposure, and index funds are a very simple and generally very cheap way to just track the market. Step five, and this one is simply, once you've made your selection in step four, you now need to buy whatever you have chosen to buy. Now, you do need to remember that every purchase you make will cost whatever that brokerage fee is. So for me, every time I make a purchase, it costs $14.95. So I like to make purchases in larger amounts where possible. That way it minimizes the number of trades that I'm making and thus minimizes the costs I'm paying for my trades. So when you are looking at that stock that you want to buy, you'll notice it has a bid and an ask value. Now, the bid value is what people are currently trying to buy it for, and the ask is what people are currently trying to sell for. So there's always a difference between those two numbers. So now that you're going to actually make your purchase, you enter in the number of shares that you want to buy, and then you select the order type that you want to make. So the two basic ones are a market order and a limit order. The market order will put the order through at the current market price, which is generally the ask price. Now, you may think the share price is going to drop further, so you may put in a limit order and set the price that you want to buy it at. Now, you do need to know that if the price or the market price never actually reaches the number that you've put in, your order won't actually go through. Now, with all the information entered, you simply review the order and place the order, and then when the transaction goes through, you get notification, whether text or email or whatever you have actually set up for your notifications. Step six, now this is simply to review your holdings every so often and make sure you're happy with how they're going and you're still happy to be holding the shares or the funds that you are currently holding. Now, this does not mean sell as soon as the price drops. The market prices fluctuate all the time. However, historically, the stock market has moved upwards over time. So if you do sell as soon as the price drops, all you're doing is locking in those losses without giving it an opportunity to rise again. Let's say you're looking for sustainable companies and the company that you have invested in was doing a lot of good work in the sustainability space. However, they might be under new management now. And then this new management has moved them away from the sustainability space and they no longer fit with the type of companies you're trying to invest in. So this may be the reason why you look more into the company and decide you do not want to hold it anymore. One thing to note though is if the share price has increased from when I purchased the shares initially, I have to pay tax on that. And that's it for how to buy shares. It's quite simple to get started, but there is a fair bit of work and research that needs to go into actually selecting the shares that you want to buy. So remember, always do your own research to make sure you know what you are actually buying. I'll cover some information and tips on how to do the research and where to get the right information from in a later video. But if there's anything that you would like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. That's it. Cheers. Bye.